Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, Friday, freedom fighters.
Wow, what alliteration.
Is that enough?
Yeah, it's good.
Enough?
Good stuff.
Three's enough? Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Vic.
All right, big show today. It's Friday. Not only is it Friday, it's Kenny and I's last day till we get a week to relax a little bit. And my God, does my body need it. David Stokes from the Show Me Institute. Boy, it's gonna be a rough. You're in store for a rough couple hours, buddy. I'm sorry.
Let's go, man.
David's coming up in a minute. We're going to talk about privatizing the post office, all kinds of stuff. Larry Connors, Mr. Connors' Neighborhood at 9:25. He's bringing in a guest, our favorite, Michael Proctor. Sounds like doctor, and that'll be at 9:25. Secretary of State, boy, Ken, pretty soon we're going to have to say former Secretary of State.
That's all right, but I love having him on.
Oh, absolutely. Susie Moore from Red State at 10:05, and the Wheel of Audio Clips at 10:41. Ken.
Yeah, you missed one. You missed one thing. 10:25, I got a little surprise.
Well, how am I, if it's a surprise, how am I supposed to?
Okay, just note surprise at 10:25.
Okay.
There we go.
I like surprises.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny, let's go.
The Pledge of Allegiance, brought to you by our United States Air Force and Space Force.
It's Friday, Ken. Give us something good, something big, something special for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, Vic, I thought, well, we're not going to be here for a while, and I think it should be Trump.
Absolutely. Mr. President.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donald Trump and the
Over 200 careers to pick from in the U.S. Air Force and Space Force. Call Jeremy Jefferson in Baldwin now at 314-295-6834. 314-295-6834.
Is that the same USA's?
Actually, I did take that piece from there, yes.
Donald Trump and the J6 Tabernacle Choir. All right, let's get rolling here. Lots to do. David Stokes, the heavyweight champion of municipal policy, David Stokes. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Vic. Great to be on the air with you, sir.
You too, man. So we'll say Merry Christmas at the end. Let's start digging in here. So privatizing the United States Postal Service. This sounds scary to people. Does it sound scary to you, or does it sound like a good idea to you?
It sounds wonderful to me. I'm probably more excited about things like this than it's healthy to be.
Yeah.
I think this would be great. Trump, he didn't get into many. He just sort of put the idea out there a couple of days ago. It's certainly something that's been talked about before, but I think privatizing the post office, either an outright sale of it to private competitors who might bid on it, or in a simpler fashion, simply allowing the private companies to compete with mail service. I don't know if people realize this, but private companies can't deliver like normal letters to mailboxes. That's illegal.
Follow me.
They can deliver packages to a house, but not letters to a mailbox. Allowing more flexibility in that would be a great way to do it as well. But look, I'm not anti-post office. There was certainly a time when it was a major function of government. And there's a reason it was one of the first 5 cabinet positions when the Constitution was ratified and Washington took office.
Yeah.
And it was important for a long time, but technology and time have changed that, and we no longer need the government to have some sort of monopoly on mail service in this country.
So is it technology, or is it inefficiency, or is it both?
I think it's both. It's a lot of things. It's technology in that people send less mail than they used to, and they can send e-cards instead of Christmas cards. And don't get me wrong, I like sending Christmas cards and receiving Christmas cards. I just don't know why it has to be a monopolized service with a set pricing. I don't know why the law has to be that if I send a Christmas card to friends in California, it's required to cost the same as if I send a Christmas cards to families a few blocks away. It shouldn't be, whatever the 70 cents or whatever a first class stamp is now for those same things. It should cost more to send something further. And that's part of the problem with the post office and the fact that UPS or FedEx couldn't deliver that Christmas card for $3 into a mailbox, even if I wanted to pay them $3 or $5 to put it in a mailbox. They're not allowed to do that. That's now crazy. It made sense at one time, sure. And the post office had its day. It had a nice run of a couple hundred years, but we need to open it up to competition or privatize it entirely now. That's, as I said, time, efficiency, technology. All these things have just combined that the old way of doing it is no longer necessary, and it costs a fortune, and it's inefficient, and we need to change it.
So, Dave, if this happens, are you thinking a current company take it over or some new company? Is some entrepreneur out there saying, oh, I'll deliver the mail privately?
Well, I would like, the easiest way to do it is probably just to open it up and allow and get rid of the law that says private companies can't deliver mail to a mailbox. I mean, get rid of that and let other people compete to it. And then just sort of let the post office die on a vine without mandating it be continued. I mean, people tried to make some changes a few years ago to allow the post office to make more cuts and get greater flexibility. And it was prevented by, there's a game to politicians who represent rural areas to protect the post office. But, people choose to live in rural areas, very rural areas. That's wonderful. There's lots of wonderful things about it. But it might also have to cost a little more to mail stuff.
Right.
If you live far out. Like, you don't want these mandates to preserve things and to preserve an institution like the post office, which is no longer really necessary in life. So I'm perfectly fine with just getting rid of giving the post office more flexibility for different charging, for different distances, and to allow the private sector to come in and compete to deliver Christmas cards to somebody's house in a mailbox. That would be fine. Now, if you want to outright sell the thing for hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars to UPS or FedEx, if they're even interested in buying it, that would be great too. That's how privatization. We usually work on like municipal utility privatizations, like water companies being sold to the private sector. I don't know if anybody would do that at this level here. So I think simply opening it up to competition would be enough.
It's funny that we're talking to David Stokes, Director of Municipal Policy, heavyweight champion of municipal policy at the Show Me Institute. It looks so innocent, to put something in somebody's mailbox, like, hey, I'm having a garage sale, or we're going to have a street block party kind of thing, and you put a thing in somebody's mailbox, you're actually committing a minor felony.
Right, you're committing a crime. I don't know if it's a felony to be precise, but yes, that's illegal. You can't put things in a post office that don't have United States postage on it.
Right.
And the only way you can deliver that is through the post office.
Right.
So it is a crime. Thankfully, the postal inspectors, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Cameron from Ferris Bueller once starred in a movie about the Postal Inspection Service.
Wow.
So I'm gonna have to rewatch that one day. But right, I'm glad the postal inspectors aren't out, trying to crack down on garage sale and neighborhood party usage. But they would crack down if UPS or FedEx started delivering Christmas cards to the mailbox. They would stop that, and that should be allowed. That should be legal, and we need to really just wholesale change how the mail operates in this country.
So years ago, I was a letter carrier for the United States Postal Service.
All right, you know this area very well then.
Yep, Clifton, New Jersey, Paulison Avenue branch. And the postal inspectors, we hated the postal inspectors because they would come follow you on your route, right? And if you delivered all the mail in less time than they allotted you, they give you another street. You know, like they can't give you 5 minutes of peace if you happen to finish your route early. And I remember the worst day of the month was Social Security check day and Carol Wright coupon day. And the Social Security, I mean, everybody got one. Your case was loaded up with checks, and literally everybody got the Carol Wright coupons. It wasn't fun working at the post office. I got to say, I can't say it was a fun job.
Well, that's such a great example, Vic, about how technology has changed. I mean, sure, people used to get lots of checks delivered through the mail. Now everything's done electronically,
Right?
And that's a wonderful thing. There actually crime. There used to be, as I'm sure you know, there was more crime for postal carriers when they carried a lot more checks around.
Absolutely.
Now that it's all mailed electronically, you have less crime against postal carriers. But we send out evites to events instead of letters. We send checks to the mail. There's just less use for the mail, and so much of the mail that you get is subsidized bulk advertisements. It's like if it was done electronically, we'd call it spam.
Right.
But because it's done through the mail, we think it's cute.
Yeah, it's true. Now, if anything like this happens, I hope they give the people who work at the post office first shot at working at these new places, right?
Sure. Although, right, the problem is one of the main reasons that there's so much resistance to any change, besides from preserving sort of rural communities who depend on the post office a little more than the rest urban areas, is protection of current employees of the post office.
Right.
I mean, they don't want to lose those jobs, and they don't want to risk those pensions and healthcare. So the post office union is a very, very powerful government union.
Oh, I know.
And they're doing all they can to resist change, to resist technology, to resist improvements under the guise of protecting their workers. And it's not like anybody should enjoy or want to punish them, but I don't think we should be resisting change and necessary improvements and changes just to protect government jobs. I would not go that far.
Right, I hear you. I remember my first day on the job, supervisor came up, and so you're at your case, right? All the first class mail goes on the counter, and then there's bulk mail underneath. And the supervisor comes and goes, all this stuff under here all has to go today too. So okay, it's first day, right? You don't want to be a bad employee. Okay. Well, I just happen to be casing right next to the shop steward of the union. And he goes, never say okay, never say yes. I'm like, really? You're going to get me in trouble? He goes, trust me, never say yes. So the next day, the guy said, it has to go. I said, nope. And he goes, okay. And he walks away. That's how strong the postal union is. All right. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to get to this final.
The examples you've given are so great about how government operates. Here you've got inspectors following you that if you do your job too quickly,
right,
you get punished with additional work. So
right.
Of course, most people respond by slowing down how they work.
Right.
And then you've got a shop steward telling a new employee, don't offer to do too much. You'll be crazy. You'll
right.
get punished if you do too much.
Right.
It's like you've beautifully encapsulated all the problems with bureaucracy in these stories. They're perfect.
Inadvertent brilliance is what it is. All right. Now, we only have a couple of minutes. That's my fault, Dave. But let's talk about the Civil Service Commission public hearing, January 6th, formal changes. I don't know anything about this. Tell me about this.
Well, it's a very interesting and absolutely sort of an inside baseball dispute between Mayor Jones and the heads of the personnel department in the city of St. Louis. And I'm largely, may not happen a lot, but I'm largely on the mayor's side here. Not with forcing this particular woman out. I mean, this is a sort of a legal dispute here, and I'm not taking sides in this one. But generally speaking, a long time ago, they insulated the personnel director from partisan politics in city government. And that's a good thing. They did this about 80 years ago in response to Pendergast patronage-style politics in St. Louis and Kansas City to reduce patronage in city hiring. That's a good thing. But over time, the personnel department sort of became a fort unto itself in city government, where nobody can make any changes there. That the person holding that job has an immense amount of power, and certainly it becomes its own fortress, sort of resistant to change. And as much as I like civil service rules and don't want patronage to be dominant, it can go too far. And I think we've seen that these rules have gone too far with Mayor Jones's administration. Look, if voters want change, voters should be able to get change. And then voters can, a few years later, determine whether or not they liked that change. And you've seen this office, the personnel department, it's been used to sort of thwart some change efforts from Mayor Jones. And I probably don't even agree with many of these change efforts, but that's what voters voted for when they moved her in there. And so it's been a difficult scenario here because that office, it's not like there's one dedicated person holding a thwart patronage politics. They become sort of close to their own union friends and the firemen's union, for example, who was sued Mayor Jones to oppose changes to the personnel department. So it's just a good example of bureaucracy becoming its own fortress, or something that was put in to protect against patronage, which is a good thing, has now become a fortress to protect against change, to protect the status quo, and that's a bad thing. Now, this dispute for the current one, I'm not going to judge whether what she did deserved to be fired or not. That's not my role. What she's accused of does seem rather minor, I'll admit. But in the bigger picture, people who get elected to office should be able to put their policies into place, and then voters can decide whether those are good policies or not at the next election. And I don't like to see bureaucracy become more powerful than elected officials. That has a lot of bad effects to it.
All right. I'm sure we can find all this stuff at showmeinstitute.org. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I've been blogging about it and other things at Twitter, at David C. Stokes. A lot of information about it. I'm just fascinated by how bureaucracy at every level of government works to often stifle change, and you see that at the local level a lot, and that's what I think is happening here.
Exactly right. Heavyweight champion of municipal policy for the Show Me Institute, David Stokes.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Ken. Merry Christmas to all your listeners, and Happy New Year, and talk to you again soon.
Back at you, baby. Thank you so much.
Back at you, Dave. Merry Christmas.
All right.
Bye.
Finally, something I've done, something I've had experience with in the news, Postal Service, But, I said it was not a fun job. We made it fun, the guys in the office.
I want everybody to get ready because as we go into the new year, every single thing DOGE is going to take away from the government, the Democrats are going to lose their freaking minds, and this includes the post office. Once they take it away to privatize it, the left is going to be like, oh, it'll never last then.
Well, I hope our rural letter carrier who
listens. You said it.
I did. How about that? Because I'm being serious now. I hope she, if that happens, she gets an opportunity to work for this new company.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose her.
She'd probably flourish under a privatization.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Mentioning DOGE, that's what I want to talk to Larry Connors about, and we'll do that next in Mr. Connors' neighborhood on News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
It's Friday!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Something happened? No. Was Representative Jayapal in the room for a second there? Yeah. All right, listen. Stop it. Oh, my God. So your money, right? You want to keep your money. You don't want to be giving your money to the government in the form of high taxes. We all know that, right? That's an easy one. But what about like giving it to the medical or care community? Here's the metaphor, okay? You sit down to read your will, and I leave all my money to the government through taxes, and I leave the rest of my fortune to the medical or care community. You already did that if you didn't plan ahead with Chris Cooper at Serenity Wealth Management, because you want that reading of the will to go, I leave all my fortune to my beautiful, lovely, wonderful children. Isn't that what we want to do? Of course, that's what we want to do. So read a book, and then when you're done with the book, get on the phone with Chris Cooper. He'll help you out. Get the new holistic retirement. That's the title of the new book. It's at serenitynowtax.com. That's serenitynowtax.com. Chris has a show on this very radio station Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. It's called Serenity Wealth Now.
And
right?
it's a lot of fun with finance.
It is. And it's only right here on News Talk STL. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now.
News, analysis, opinion.
It almost seems common sense, but, alas, common sense isn't so common these days.
News Talk STL.
Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros, your all-in-one gutter service team that brings years of experience and quality that's affordable right to your doorstep. We discovered Gutter Pros a few years ago when we bought our home and inherited a gutter issue that was on the road to becoming a potentially big problem, but thanks to Gutter Pros was stopped before causing any major damage. They've also repaired the siding on our home because along with gutter repair, gutter installation, and leaf protection, the Gutter Pros are also the best for siding repair and installation. Learn about all the ways Gutter Pros can help your home at gutterpros.com.
Hi, I'm Helene Tobler, culinary nutritionist at Body of Health Direct Primary Care. Here we do practical wellness. Dr. Randy and I have a common sense approach to healthcare. My passion is helping our members enjoy better nutrition because food is medicine. We approach problems with a lifestyle foundation and cutting-edge medical tool chest. At Body of Health, it's about being your healthiest you. If you want to experience healthcare the way it ought to be, schedule a discovery call today at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com.
To our brave police officers and first responders, we say thank you for risking your lives to protect us. To all the incredible volunteers who've joined hands with the David Dorn Foundation to raise funds for equipment and services, we extend our heartfelt gratitude. We stand strong with our volunteers who give their time, talent, and dedication as a shield of support for those who rush into danger. The David Dorn Foundation gives a big thank you from our heart to yours. Visit dornfoundation.com and join as a volunteer.
St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
What citizen wouldn't want to make America great again?
Live and local.
You lose, you Dixon Notch. Yeah. You lost America. I saw it etched on coins up here.
This is News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I have a theory. People talk loud when they want to act smart, right?
Correct! Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Ken Williams being the world's greatest executive producer with one half of his brain tied behind his back just to make it fair.
Thanks, Vic.
Well done, Ken Williams. Hey, before we go any further, I want to thank Vicky Howard, I believe her name is, in the chat box.
I call her Vicky E.H. because she always says her profile name's Vicky E.H. and I didn't know it was Howard.
You thought it was from Canada, Vicky, eh?
Vicky A.
Got it. She came here the other day, Wednesday, and she said she had a gift for Kenny and me, and she did. And she told the story about how she wrote a letter to Rush Limbaugh, and Rush Limbaugh sent her these 3 great shirts with his signature on them. And stuff.
Embroidered. They're all 3 beautiful. So we're gonna display them.
One of them is like the Rush Revere. Remember the Rush Revere?
Yeah.
It was from that era. I don't know. But Vicky, thank you so much. It was such a great gift, and we loved it so much. Here we go. Is it the last? Yeah, it's the last of the year. Oh, no. No. One more.
St. Louis, it's Mr. Connor's neighborhood.
Good morning, Mr. Connors.
Good morning, gentlemen. Vic and Ken Thunderstealer. It's always glad to be with you.
Ken, can you do me a favor and just make sure it's not locked out?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm looking. I don't see him.
You see through the door?
Yeah, I can see through the blinds.
He could be wandering through the hallways. At this point.
Michael Proctor might be putting up shade somewhere.
That he could be.
He's probably very busy helping a customer and a client.
All right, Larry, I want to talk to you about.
I don't want to talk about.
I am so tired. I'm so tired. About Doge. Okay, Elon, Vivek. I'm not sure people in DC understand that that's the deal. They've made this kind of pseudo agency for getting rid of waste in the government, and they don't get it. They don't.
They're going to.
Right, but right now they don't.
Got to bite them in the butt.
Do they think we're fooling around here?
No, we're not. We're not. I mean, they're going to continue to try to play their little Mickey Mouse games. They are going to start dismantling some of these offices. They are going to send. We only have stats I saw. 16% of the federal employees that are employed in Washington, D.C. are actually in their offices on a daily basis.
Right.
16%. They're working from home. That was great during COVID, but now everybody should be coming back. Or we dismantle those offices, sell off the property if we can, and get them spread across the nation.
Which is a great idea.
Yeah, but no, my God, I might be stuck in St. Louis.
Oh, no. Nobody wants that.
Welcome here.
No, I'm kidding. But it's like working from home. One guy who I think even works for the Veterans Administration took a selfie of himself in a bubble bath. By the way.
Right.
What grown man takes a bubble bath?
Yeah, but and
he says my office today.
Yeah,
like
right,
taunting us.
Right,
the rest of us who have to go drive to work.
Right, and it's again now with the broadband width we have, we can do a lot of this stuff from home. That I understand, but. And if you're home with your kids, you get to see them a little bit more, and you do a little few things in and out. You walk down to the water cooler, talk to people at the office, or you sit down for a coffee, or some go out for a long smoke. No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
but no, if they're saying we want you to come back in and go to work, and their unions, a federal union rep is saying no, we're not going to. Where do you get off telling the American taxpayer you're not going to do that?
I mean, people working at home, first of all, you have to have a certain discipline in yourself to do that. And I'm sure, I hate to say this, a lot of the people in the government just don't. They don't
you remember the general, I think it was, who got a book published and got a lot of response off of it and had some good points about make your bed. And it was the whole idea is you start your day by making your bed. That sets everything, and then you're set down with a discipline. You stick with it.
Yeah,
I'm flunking that decision.
Me too, man. Me too. All right, so let's get back to Elon and to Vivek. First of all, what do you think about Vivek being Speaker of the House?
No, it was Musk, not Vivek.
It's one of the two.
The proposal by Rand Paul was for Elon to have it.
Yes.
But you don't have to be a member of Congress to do that.
I know that. My point. I think Vivek would do better at that job than Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk has too much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Not that he can't handle it. Let him do what he's doing. So the only other logical thing is to pick Vivek to be Speaker of the House. Could you imagine? Vivek Ramaswamy as Speaker of the House?
I would. I really would love. I think Elon, quite honestly, he's juggling so many balls. He's sharp enough to do it. Don't get me wrong about that. But I mean, he's speaking at so many super speeds and different levels that a lot of us would have a hard time following it if he's serving as speaker. So I think, I'm all for Vivek doing that. That'd be great.
When Elon gets interviewed, he's asked a question and he's got to pause for a second so he can dumb it down for the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's so smart,
He's got ADD plus, but he's also very sharp and incisive.
So, Larry, you might have some insight on this. Maybe not.
No, I do.
Last night, the internet was buzzing about Joe Biden hurrying back to the White House last night from Delaware. Kamala Harris canceling her trip to California and come to the White House. What do you think was going on?
I tell you exactly what was going on. They were already, the word was circulating that Trump should come to D.C. and help negotiate this because he's really the president right now. And I think they're rushing forward to show, no, we're still here. We're still here.
Yeah, we're not doing anything.
No, they have not been, and they're not going to.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, you want to go conspiracy deep?
Yeah, do it, baby.
Drones have been identified as from outer space, and they were summoned for a security mission.
Now that would be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be a good movie.
that'd be fun for me for a little while, but I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Really?
No, I think really is because Rand Paul, or not Rand Paul, but I mean other legislators saying, Trump needs to come here, come down to Florida and come on up here because he's the president now anyway. So just come on up here and help negotiate this deal directly.
How about a new cabinet in a new cabinet position in the government the Tell the Truth cabinet. Okay? Because two things.
Truth or consequences.
That's exactly it. It's truth, and now look at the consequences. But they told us that there were, I think, 1,000 troops in Syria.
Yeah.
Turns out there was double that.
And we wonder why they can't pass an audit for 7 years straight.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
seriously,
we find out yesterday that people in Joe Biden's staff said he hasn't been with it since day one.
Yeah.
And they lied to us. And the media knew it, and they said he was fine, and they lied to us for 4 years.
And I'm going to cover a lot of that in tonight's program, as a matter of fact.
And I think the most important part of that, what Vic just said, is that they're saying now, well, Trump shouldn't have Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy say anything about policy because they weren't elected. Well, guess what? All those people behind the scenes, the dozens that made all these policies the last 4 years, Larry.
You nailed it. You nailed it. You truly did. And if they want to say that Pete Hegseth is not qualified to be defense secretary, the defense secretary didn't know, and their Pat Ryder, their major general, has to go out and say, well, we now know that we have 2,000. What do you mean you now know?
We now know.
I mean, these guys suddenly, boom, we're suddenly here in Syria. No, you were assigned and sent there. I understand rotation. Yeah. I understand rotation of numbers, being in the military, as we, you know, numbers would change in and out. But you know where every person is.
Of course. And they want to talk about Pete Hegseth and how he might not be able, and let's not forget, our current Secretary of Defense went AWOL.
Yeah, without even notifying his boss, our commander-in-chief.
They got a lot of nerve saying anything about Pete Hegseth.
I mean, Pete, he is going to be a warrior's warrior and soldier's soldier.
Mm-hmm.
There are probably things on the bureaucratic level and budgeting and so forth that he's going to need to bring in people that he will trust to help him.
That's fine.
And that's absolutely the best managers, in fact, the best company owners, for that matter, are those who surround themselves with people that can handle those kinds of things they can't.
Yeah, I think
Donald Trump has made his living that way. He's surrounded by lawyers and people that you know, he trusts, and he doesn't know all this stuff.
Look at Jeff Allen. He surrounds himself with all
of
us.
Look at this.
Well, yeah, there are a few links in that chain that might be weak.
Well. Larry Connors, USA,
Hey,
6
thanks,
to 8
guys.
o'clock. Great commentary every day at 7:30, 12:03, and 3:30 in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yes, and today, you want to go back to Mr. Potato Head? I think we should with our kids. That's my commentary today.
I like it.
Let's leave it
I
at
agree.
that. Let's leave it at that. And we'll find out about it at 12:03.
Thank
Larry
you.
Connors, thank you, baby.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless.
Thanks, Mr. Connors.
Right
and Merry
back at
Christmas
you.
to you,
God bless.
sir.
Merry
Hey,
Christmas.
Ken, this is my wife's favorite Christmas song.
Yes, it is.
The Kinks, Father Christmas. Jess, crank it up, baby. Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, he's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
When I was small, I believed in Santa Claus, though I knew it was my dad.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at News Talk STL.
Open my presents and I'd be glad. But the last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
My mama died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through things, we found 19 loaded handguns.
The roughest, toughest, stuffest hombre has ever crossed the Rio Grande.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
On the next
Larry Connors, USA.
The latest on a budget to stop a federal government shutdown and Elon Musk as Speaker of the House.
Larry Connors, USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness 101. Wellness 101 is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on News Talk STL. For more information, visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Tony Colombo here, reminding you to visit my friends at Bluff City Outdoors in Alton before your next trip into the great outdoors. For decades, Bluff City Outdoors has covered all the needs for area fishermen, and they'll always have all the best bait, tackle, and gear for your next trip on the water. And now they cover all your bow hunting needs, including their state-of-the-art indoor archery range and techno hunt system, open every day for you to come shoot, or you can join a league. Follow Bluff City Outdoors on Facebook and learn more at bluffcityoutdoors.com.
Larry Connors here with a perfect Christmas gift for the conservative in your life. Let's go to southern Italy, on a tour of the most beautiful coastline in the world, the Amalfi Coast. Join me for 11 magical days with professionals from Conservative Tours. $54.88. That includes airfare from St. Louis. Call toll-free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Let's go to Italy this spring.
Nate Lucas here for the Village Bar in the heart of Des Peres. Since 1948, the Village Bar has been the go-to destination for delicious food, cold drinks, and unbeatable atmosphere. Savor their famous wings, burgers, and onion rings, or grab a drink from their fully stocked bar. Catch all the big games and enjoy the company of their friendly staff. Plus, don't miss the 1879 Distillery, a one-of-a-kind experience right next door. The Village Bar offers the best value in town. Find the Village Bar on Facebook and come experience where history meets great times. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, Columbo here for Intervine, a great local company that has customers all across the country due to the quality of their products. Intervine has the best flashlights, lanterns, headlamps, and even batteries, including the new Monster 2000 Lumen waterproof lantern and the Sentinel 2000 self-defense flashlight. Our home and vehicles are full of great Intervine products, and right now you can shop their website and get 25% off your entire purchase just by using my name, Tony, as your promo code. That's promo code Tony at Intervine.com.
Mr. Connor's Neighborhood, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Jingle bells chime and jingle bells.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Mackey. You may know me from Gutfeld as the hot one and the funny one. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on NewstalkSTL 101.9 and 94.1 or 94.1 and 101.9. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Joe Mackey, everybody. In a one-horse sleigh.
Go, Vic.
All right, listen. Michelle Rittenauer, Scarlett Rittenauer, one of our great friends in the chat box,
yes,
is a letter carrier
in a rural area.
Yeah, and she said, "Sure hope that I have a job." Yikes, Michelle, I do too. And you know, if it does privatize, then you know we'll let you know as quickly as we can what that's going to be, and you can apply there real quick with all your great experience.
And Michelle, I truly believe that if Trump's going to be involved in this, I think in the long term you're going to be fine. I think in fact you're probably be better off in the long run.
Plus, you listen to this show, so you're in.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk to the secretary. Anything else we got to put in there?
Nope.
Good morning, Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. It's a cold one. Hope you all are doing great. Merry Christmas.
So listen, the guy who started this whole happy birthday thing actually celebrated a birthday yesterday. Nick Schroer's birthday was yesterday.
An actual birthday.
Actual real birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Nick Schroer.
Yeah, he's a troublemaker, Mr. Secretary. You know that.
He's a good troublemaker.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's making good trouble. And some of the things that he's talked on this show about for 3 years hasn't been able to get done only because of people who run as a conservative in the campaign and then they get down to Jefferson City and they're not quite conservative at all.
Or they run as Republicans, but they move to the left so they can get Democrat votes.
Yes.
You know, there was a time last couple of years where they've tried to go to closed primaries. So only Republicans get to pick the Republican candidate. Only Democrats get to pick the Democrat candidate. I mean, that seems so weird that Democrats would get to pick the Democrat and Republicans the Republican.
So weird.
But
so weird.
There are Republicans that are against it because they know they can't win if Republicans make the choice. They need Democrats supporting them.
Yep.
Weird how?
Weird.
So Missouri's electors meet this Tuesday at the Capitol and
They
vote?
met last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday. Okay. How'd that go?
It went great. Not so good for Kamala Harris. She was skunked. She got 0 votes, and all of our electoral votes went to the past and future to be President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Love to hear it.
Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
There you go.
So let's talk about the Daniel Penny trial. He walked out of there not guilty, ends up going to the Army-Navy game with President Trump. I think finally some justice in the right direction in New York City.
I think it was wonderful that the president and the vice president had him there. It is atrocious that he went through that trial in the first place. He was putting his life, his liberty on the line to protect others. We should thank him. We should applaud him. We should encourage other individuals to do that. You know, look, when you're a man, one of your main responsibilities in life is to protect the women around you. He did that, and the idea that New York would go after him is a travesty, and any good-thinking, right-thinking people obviously need to leave New York City and never return.
It's so weak.
And he also is reviving chivalry, right?
Yeah.
If he was convicted in that trial, you know, a woman could be getting beaten up on the subway or on the street, and we'd have to just walk on by because, sorry, I don't want to go to jail.
That happens in New York. That happens in New York because of their government. And we had one individual that was, and frankly, it wasn't just him. He stood up, and because he did, other people on the train helped. We should just be so thankful that he helped to change the way people acted in that situation. We need more of that. We need to stand up for the law-abiding citizens, and we need to throw the book at the real criminal.
Absolutely right. So how about Billy Long getting the IRS pick?
I think that's awesome.
Me
I
too.
mean, kudos to Billy Long. I texted him. I said, "Congratulations! Now where's my tax cut?" And you know he's going to work to change the system. You know he's going to work to get rid of those extra millions of dollars, billions probably, that they put forth to the IRS to try to get more out of the American people. You know that he will cut spending. You know that he will try to cut taxes. He's from Southwest Missouri. He will do the right thing.
Yep. And he'll do a couple of auctions in between. Okay. So let's talk about the economy, getting inflation under control. Donald Trump is going to use tariffs with other countries. Didn't he use tariffs his first time around as president and it worked out okay? Or did I miss something?
He did use tariffs. The Democrats told us they were terrible. And then when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris or whoever was really in charge took office, they kept his tariffs because they realized that they had done a good thing. They didn't just want to be truthful about it. Look, we need an understanding. We want to have trade, but we got to have fair trade. And when the other side treats us disparately, we need to stand up for Americans, you know, putting Americans first and say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that we have the manufacturing base we need to be stable. We need to make sure that if there's another pandemic, we can make the drugs we need ourselves instead of relying on the people that started at, i.e. China.
You know, the American people, I think, are getting sick of the roller coaster. You know, Donald Trump was in office and everything was great. The economy was good. Inflation was low. Biden comes in and turns it all around, and it was bad. So this roller coaster created just because of a hatred for Donald Trump and not a thought at all about the true American people.
Well, you know, we've seen this happen before. There was a while in New York where you'd have Democrat governor, then a Republican, or Democrat mayor, then a Republican, because things would get so bad under Democrats and be like, yeah, maybe we do need to go back to those Republicans. Things were good under them. We just need Republicans that will go into office and do what they said they would do when they were campaigning to show people that, yes, life is better, opportunity is greater, the American dream is the Republican Party.
Why don't we give that a shot in the city of St. Louis? How about a couple of Republican mayors here?
You know, I think that'd be wonderful, but I think what we're going to need to do before that is to have individuals in Jefferson City that are willing to say, we don't care what the political leadership of St. Louis says. If they're not taking care of their people, we're going to disregard them, and we're going to step in as the state and do what needs to be done and use that to show the people of the city of St. Louis that Republicans care about them. We ought to be doing it about education to make sure that every individual in the city of St. Louis, some of whom have been trapped for generations without the ability to get a real education, know that Republicans will fight to make sure their child can get a real education.
That all sounds great, but why haven't we done that in the last 70 years?
Well, you know, insanity is continuing to do the same thing and expecting different results. When we keep electing individuals that say one thing and do another,
this is where you end up.
All right. So what a perfect time for Amazon to go on strike a few days before Christmas. What do you think about that?
Buy local.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm sorry for individuals that might not get a present that they went to the time to think, and there was someone they wanted to get something special, and they found a great thing for them. But you know what? If it makes us actually stop and realize that Christmas isn't about us giving presents, but it's about the greatest present that could ever be given, when God Almighty sent his son to die on the cross to forgive us of our iniquities, that's a better thing.
Mr. Secretary, we treasure our time with you. Let's continue. What was that?
I talk too much.
No. We love our conversations, and you're still going to talk to us after fit us in between fishing trips, right?
Of course.
All right. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Mr. Secretary. We love you. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas to all.
And happy birthday! Happy birthday! Nick Schroer's real birthday yesterday.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Secretary.
Troublemaker, right? Happy birthday, Vic. Every day a chat box.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do a little chat box. Let's talk to people here.
Yeah.
First one. No?
Well, yeah. No, we can.
No, I can't without the music.
Well,
I literally cannot read chat boxes without the music. All right, thanks. Michelle, our letter carrier, our rural letter carrier, she just said, sure, I have a job. Yikes. I think she will, because she's good. Good Friday morning, Freedom Fighters. Merry Christmas. Good morning, Freedom Fighter Vic Heads. It's Friday. Happy Friday, whoosh, and happy Friday. 31 days till the end of the era.
Whoosh.
Good morning, all freedom-loving patriot Vic Heads. Still loving the beautiful warm weather here in Florida. Duke's in Florida.
Oh, good deal.
Well, we're freezing here. Merry Christmas, Vic Ken, and all the Vic Heads. Right back at you, Duke. Charles Grodicke says, good morning, Mr. Stokes. Merry Christmas. Sorry. Didn't get that to Dave in time for you, Charles. Put the leads to the flag of the United States of America. No for Alexis.
No peace.
No for Alexis.
No peace.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Good morning, all you. What?
No peace.
Good morning, all you mega, MAGA, ultra patriotic, deplorable, garbagian, freedom fighting, God fearing, dickhead weirdos. Merry Christmas. Merry Wooshmas. Merry Wooshmas.
I like that. Merry
Whoosh.
Miss.
We're putting it into everything now.
Yeah.
Make a Whoosh Foundation.
Yeah.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, right?
I want to do that as a song. Next year, maybe we'll do Christmas song in harmony with that.
The Whoosh Christmas album.
Yes.
I love it.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Oh, it's you, Ken. I'm not reading yours.
Yeah, don't read mine.
Eddie can't do it all by himself. He needs help from us. She's talking about me? She's talking about me?
Yeah.
Huh. I have clients send us mail by UPS instead of USPS. Gets to us faster. UPS is already a quasi-carrier. Yeah, I don't know. They're not efficient anymore like they used to be.
Well, no, I mean, let's put it this way. If I worked at a company, a corporation that was losing major money every year, and they were raising prices constantly, I'd say, hey, you guys think about maybe getting out of the biz and having somebody else take care of it? I mean, really.
Except our friend Michelle. She needs to have her.
No, I'm saying, but they may be able to help her, Vic. That's what I'm saying.
Vicky says, hey, Ken and Vic. Ed says, cool. Okay. You're all welcome. What did Vicky do for the whole crew here? Ed Stoit, that X account is removed from me. Now I'm under. Oh, I got to stop reading Ken's stuff. I don't care what he says. I do, Ken.
No.
Ken, I sent you an audio file by email. Let me know if you received it.
Oh.
Hit the like button on the show, please. Yes, if you guys, would it kill you to hit the thumbs up or the like button and then subscribe and all that stuff people say about the podcasts? Republicans will also. This about, I think, the big bill that everybody's screwing up. Bureaucrats are doing Biden's job. Yep. They need to bring up all the outrageous tariffs other countries have on U.S. products. Right. Can we reach out to Doge and say no more money to other countries until our debt is paid? Yes. Saying happy birthday every day is perfect for the season because Frosty the Snowman says it every time he comes alive. Happy birthday.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Saying happy birthday. Okay, same thing. Jackie Vernon was the voice of Frosty the Snowman. Jimmy Durante's voice, of course, as the Frosty the Snowman. All right, thanks everybody. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll read some stuff next time we get to you, which will be help me, Ken. We'll be here on January 30th and 31st. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
And I think
and then
so.
New Year's Day we're off, and then back for the rest of the thing.
Here, Ed Stoid had something here. Here's what he was talking about. I think.
Did you listen to it first? Make sure there's no bad words in it.
No.
Hello, this is Ed Stoit.
Hello, Mr. Stoit.
Hey, Karen. How you doing?
All right.
So we'll save that for her.
Perfect.
Thanks, Mr. Stoit.
Thank you, Mr. Stoit. Karen Cataline's doing the show Monday.
Right.
Tuesday is Larry Connors. Thursday, Senator Bill Igo. And Friday, Nate Lucas. Let's see if we still have a license to broadcast after Friday. He'll be here too, I think, won't he? In the studio.
Should be, yeah. No, I don't know.
Come on, they can't keep him held hostage over Christmas in
Well,
DC.
that's true.
Can
Yeah,
they?
you're right.
Go
You're
home
right.
and say, kiss your mother, and then come back.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Let's do some news, and then when we get back, Ken's up to something. I don't know what he's up to, but he's up to something. But Susie Moore is next on 101.9 94.1 News. I can see how they are.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hello, this is Jay with Titan Hill Armory in Washington, Missouri. We are a small family-owned business specializing in firearms and accessories. We buy, sell, and trade and have over 2,000 firearms in our store. We're open Wednesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check us out at 1807 East 5th Street or online at TitanHillArmory.com.
Titan Hill Armory, your source for firearms, ammunition, accessories in Washington, Missouri.
Again, that's TitanHillArmory.com.
Tony Colombo here for the cleaning pros at Zero Res, the team we trust with keeping our home clean and healthy. And the folks at Zero Res know how important it is to you to have a clean, healthy home this holiday season. And that's why they have this great offer for you right now. Book a cleaning with Zero Res and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Again, just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 101.9, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Get ready for some of the most crowded times on the roads and at airports. AAA spokesperson Aitza Diaz says the number of people traveling for the holidays is expected to top the previous holiday season high that was set in 2019.
What we are expecting is an
overall total record of 119 million travelers, and specifically the airline passengers, air travel. That's also a new record of 7.85 million.
Diaz says people are experiencing a sort of post-pandemic psychological shift, valuing visiting family and friends a lot more than they did before. Donna Warder, Washington.
A gauge of inflation, it's closely watched by the Federal Reserve, barely budged last month.
Prices rose just 0.1% from October to November. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, prices also ticked up just 0.1% after 2 months of outsized 0.3% gains. The milder inflation figures arrived 2 days after Federal Reserve officials rocked financial markets by revealing that they now expect to cut their key interest rate just 2 times in 2025, down from 4 in their previous estimate.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House reporting. A rally underway this morning on Wall Street with stocks now in positive territory. The Dow is up 373 points. The Nasdaq ahead 134, and the S&P is up 44 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
There is renewed interest in tracing a missing Malaysia Airlines plane.
Malaysia's government has agreed in principle to accept a second no-find, no-fee deal from an American company to renew the hunt for flight MH370, which is believed to have crashed into the southern Indian Ocean more than 10 years ago. Lawmakers gave the nod last week for Texas-based Ocean Infinity, which mounted a private search in 2018 to continue the hunt in a new 5,000...
This hour of News Talk STL, brought to you by Jewels on Hampton, paying some of the highest prices for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Call 314-752-5000 or visit jewelsonhampton.com. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Cold and windy out there this morning. Wind chills in the teens in parts of the area under mostly cloudy skies. These winds won't really die down until late this afternoon and this evening. So we'll keep it cold with 35 as the afternoon high. Down to 25 overnight tonight, partly cloudy. Saturday remains chilly, but it'll be mostly sunny, much lighter wind. So that high of 37 should be easier to take. And a warming trend kicks in on Sunday with a high of 45. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, another hour to go. Our final hour before Christmas for us. Right, Kenny?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yep. Kenny's got another great hour for us with Susie Moore. And sorry, we screwed up there. Michael Proctor sounds like Doctor coming in at 10:25.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to him then. And, of course, the Wheel of Audio Clips at 10:41.
Oh, Susie Q, baby, I love you. Susie Q.
I'm the boss. How about that?
I should have listened to Susie Moore from the beginning.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right about that.
How about that? Good morning, Smoothie Q. How are you?
Good morning. I'm chilly. It's very windy and bitter out there.
It's very windy, yeah.
It's funny how 0 degrees and no wind feels warmer than 32 degrees and wind.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Makes a big difference.
All right. So, listen, Susie, this administration, remember they wanted to be the most transparent, Everything they said was a lie. Even we'll be transparent. So they couldn't be honest about how many troops are in Syria. Even worse, even his staff has said that he was cognitively impaired from day one. They haven't told the truth about anything.
It certainly doesn't seem like they have. I'm sure that if I searched the recesses of my memory, I could come up with something that they told the truth about. But it seems like most of what they say is not true. And they'll come out and they'll say it, and people on the right will go, "Wait, that doesn't sound right. I don't think that's right." And there'll be pushback, and you're told you're crazy or a conspiracy theorist. And then 6 months later, it's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's correct."
Yeah, you were right the whole time. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So, with this administration leaving and President Trump coming back for another term, being helped by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, the left, I'm not sure they understand this Doge thing. I think they think it's a joke. I don't think maybe they understand it, but they're going to start cutting, and they're going to start cutting pretty deep.
Oh, I think they understand it. I think that's why they're balking at it, because that means cutting spending, and that's like anathema to the left.
Well, they know it, but yet they gave us a $1,600 bill. I felt like Nancy Pelosi was up there saying, well, you have to vote for it to find out what's in it. There's nothing different between this and that.
Right. So you have to keep one thing in mind that is frustrating, but is the reality. We aren't in the 119th Congress yet, and Donald Trump isn't in the White House yet. Now, that's easy to forget because Joe Biden is basically AWOL, but there are severe restrictions in terms of what can actually get done in the House, not only because the Republican majority is slim, but because Republicans tend to go their own way and they don't all vote as a block, whereas Democrats always vote in lockstep, and that's always to spend more.
So I think they all look at President Trump like he's already in office. Don't you?
Oh, I think that on some level people are behaving that way, but legally and realistically, he's not. He can't sign a bill right now. And the Congress that's in charge right now has a Democratic majority in the Senate. So those are the realities that we're facing in terms of what's going on right now with the spending that will be different after January 20th.
31 days. That's all we got to do is wait 31 days and get him in there, get a new administration in there. I said this so many times, Susie, but I would love to write President Trump a letter and say, "Dear Mr. President, if you don't mind, can I be in the Oval Office when you fire Jennifer Granholm? I would love to see her face when you say you're fired." Wouldn't you?
You can do that, but I don't know that that'll help. He's not actually going to have to fire her.
But he could do it especially for me, couldn't he?
Okay, yes. You know what? That would be good. He should do like a little reality show, like a sideshow apprentice kind of thing, where he's basically showing all of the former cabinet secretaries the door.
Yep. All right. I want to talk about a couple of stories you wrote. One being the attempted assassin of Donald Trump on the golf course. Charges were announced. What's going on there with the stonewalling?
Oh, yes. So the initially Ryan Ralph was charged by the federal government for firearms offenses, and then they added on the attempted assassination. So he's being prosecuted in the federal system by the U.S. Department of Justice in the Southern District of Florida, in front of actually Judge Eileen Cannon. But the crime happened in Florida. And from the outset, Ron DeSantis and the Florida officials said, look, we're going to be looking at this separately, like with a parallel investigation to see if there were state crimes committed, and we're going to pursue our own investigation, which is what they've done. And they have now brought charges against him, or announced that they're bringing charges against him as well, for what they call attempted felony murder, which that's a weird name for what it is, but they've brought those charges so that there will also be a state prosecution of him. The catch there is that they're saying, the feds haven't really been particularly cooperative with them in terms of them trying to pursue their own investigation. And the question is that because of, the sort of territorial, like this is our turf stuff, or is there something else going on that's keeping them from being cooperative?
I don't, the whole thing is just crazy. Are there going to be any investigations and charges against the Secret Service?
I don't know if there'll be charges. I think that oversight is going to continue to look into the Secret Service. And I think there are probably going to be some changes that you'll see implemented once the Trump administration comes in and there's a new director, because he's not going to retain Ronald Rowe, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So no, I think you'll see some changes, and I think there may be some investigations. There may be some disciplinary actions. I don't know. I mean, there could be crimes there. There could be. I can't rule that out. And certainly there are lots of reasons to have questions, but I don't know that we're going to end up with criminal prosecutions. But I do think we'll see some, hopefully, positive changes.
Absolutely. I brought this up more than once. I don't know if I brought it up with you. If I have, bear with me, okay? There's a very famous piece of video from the 1951 World Series when Willie Mays makes that great catch over his shoulder running towards the center field fence. You've seen that, right?
I'm sure I have.
Okay. So that game was played in a park called the Polo Grounds, where the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers Brooklyn Dodgers played at Ebbets Field. The New York Giants used to play at the Polo Grounds. The center field fence was 483 feet from home plate. That's why there wasn't a whole lot of home runs hitting deep dead center at that park. So Willie Mays made that catch about 20 or 30 feet before that fence. That's how far Crooks was from President Trump in Butler, 450 feet. See what I'm saying? This is why I ask about charges, because I think some of the charges are treason.
You know, I mean, I would have to go back and double check this, but I'm fairly certain that one of the prerequisite elements of treason is an intent. So you'd have to show that there was an intent to cause harm as opposed to just neglect for their duties. Now, I can't rule that out. If there was somebody, whether they were in the Secret Service or some of the other, somebody else in the administration that somehow intended for this to happen, absolutely, that's a crime. They need to be charged. I don't know that we're going to get there. I don't know that we're going to discover evidence that will point to that. I think there's abundant evidence that things were neglected, that things that should have been done weren't done.
Right.
And that's where you're going to see the disciplinary action.
So how do we find out if that was intentional or not?
Well, it's going to involve investigations by Congress, by the Oversight Committee. They're going to have to continue to delve into it. They've already issued their report on the incident. There's still a lot of questions left unanswered.
Yeah, sure is a lot of questions left unanswered. All right, so let's talk about Neil Cavuto is leaving Fox News. Yesterday was his last show. I say good riddance. He's a never Trumper, and I don't know what are your feelings about Neil Cavuto?
So I guess I would say I have mixed feelings about him. Over the years, I have appreciated his approach. I felt like he's been, kind of he's not a bomb thrower. He's very measured. And he's been, I think overall, he's had a good, solid career. I have found him over the past couple of years very difficult to watch because the never Trump. And keep in mind, I'm a former never Trumper, so I mean that's where I'm coming from. I am no longer a never Trump, obviously, but there were times, and I keep Fox News on in the afternoon while I'm working because I need to kind of be alerted to stuff that's happening, that sort of thing. It's one of my kind of alert sources in addition to my phone and the computer and Twitter and all that sort of thing. So I would have him on and I'd be kind of like rolling my eyes and kind of gritting my teeth through a lot of it because there were times when his feelings seemed to bleed through in the way that he was questioning people. And it bothered me. But I guess on the whole, when I look at somebody who's had a near 30-year career on a network and who I think, has done in a lot of respects an admirable job and fought through a lot of health crises in the process, I don't have like a real strong negative feeling toward him, but I understand why some people do.
Well, here's the deal. Okay. Every day at 3:00 he comes on, and every day, let's say in an hour where they have maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 guests in that hour, every one, the same day, like every Monday or every Wednesday, Chris Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, is on. Total never Trumper, and I just, the things that he said about, not just about Trump, I found some clips of him last night saying, this hydroxychloroquine, if you take it, you will die. I mean, it seemed to me him and Maddow and the rest of them, whatever Donald Trump said, they would say the opposite because Donald Trump is Orange Man bad.
I would not put him in the same camp as Rachel Maddow, because I think Neil Cavuto is somebody who has lived in the Beltway and lived in the Washington bubble for his adult life and his career. And so he's susceptible to that mentality, what you would maybe think of as an establishment mentality, but he is not a Rachel Maddow. So I will push back on it.
Well, he's a never Trumper.
Yes, but not all never Trumpers
Listen,
are
now
Rachel
listen,
Maddow.
here's the thing, Susie, okay? To me, never Trumpers are worse than Democrats like Rachel Maddow who hate him.
Yeah.
Right? The Democrats have to hate him. If you're a Republican, the only never Trumper is a phrase about Republicans who don't like Donald Trump.
And they act like, oh no, that's not true.
And
that's I'm being a journalist.
To me, that's worse. That's worse.
Okay. Well, you're entitled to your opinion, Vic, but I don't share it. And as somebody who wasn't never a Trumper, I'm not going to go down that road with you. Sorry.
Well,
come on, Susie.
We have never Trumper spray here to take that spray
I'm sure you do. And here's the thing, I guess what I will say is somebody who used to feel that way, I understand why some people do. I don't agree with them, but I don't think it makes them the worst person on the face of the planet. I think there are some people who carry that label who are objectively bad people and who are misleading, and I agree with the disdain that you hold for that.
So his career,
I mean,
his show on Fox News started out as a conservative kind of show, right? And then Trump came around, and he didn't like Trump, so hydroxychloroquine will kill you, which is a lie. Instead of actually finding the truth. To me, that's worse than being a Democrat who, of course, was going to say hydroxychloroquine is bad because Donald Trump likes it. So he fell into that trap. And
so I think there's a distinction between people who are willfully misleading the public and who are mistaken, and who are maybe blinded to the fact that they are. So, I mean, I get it. I get where you're coming from. I just don't share your view. Sorry.
I don't like him, and I'm glad he's gone.
There you go.
Done
You're
with
gone,
that.
and you're still here.
There you go, Vic.
Don't jinx it, okay? Don't jinx it. All right. So what does Susie Moore do for Christmas? Come on, lay it out there for us.
Just family time, Just we do Christmas Eve at my brother and sister-in-law's house, and the cousins come over, and we all get together and enjoy time there. And then Christmas Day, later, usually midday to early afternoon. Now we get together at my mom's house and open presents and do Christmas dinner.
Big gathering. How many people?
The Christmas Eve gathering usually has about 40 people at it.
Wow.
The Christmas Day gathering is more of my immediate family, so it's more like 15.
Wow.
So when I was living in New Jersey, all that was true. We'd go to Grandma's house for, actually, we'd go to Aunt Alva's house for Christmas Eve, eat the bacala and all that stuff. And then on Christmas Day, we'd go to Grandma's house, and I would watch my grandmother make the ravioli by hand, right? Turn the things over. And we would just eat like pigs. And the gathering was big. So now, first of all, I don't live near there anymore. I'm 900 miles away from there. Almost all of them are dead. Even more of my cousins are dead than are alive. And, yeah. And, so Christmas now, which I love, by the way, is my wife and me, or maybe my wife and me and Mia, or my wife and me, and well, all three of my kids. But that's the biggest our Christmas will ever get. And you want to know the truth? I love it. Nice, intimate Christmas.
No, that's nice too. Absolutely.
I do a little bit of in between. I have
a huge family.
You've got a big family.
Yeah, I got two on both sides. So what we do is we'll do our own little intimate thing at home, and then we go out to everywhere else where everybody else is cooking and making all the food, and then we just bring something. We're good.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't host. I bring something and go elsewhere.
Awesome.
It's nice.
Well, once we came here, we were the hosts. My wife is a great cook, and this year, like she did last year, she's making beef Wellington, and maybe some manigot.
Yeah, of course, Vic.
Yeah. What do you mean, of course?
Susie, you know what he said, right?
Manicotti.
Very good, very good.
I take back some of the anti-Trumper spray. Play it backwards. I'm sorry, I don't like Neil Cavuto. I just don't like him.
I know. I totally get it. Like I said, I would cringe through his show and just wait for the 5 to come on. I was not really that enamored of his show the past couple of years, and I think TDS is a real thing. But I'm not as, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't dislike him as strongly as you do. Let's put it that way.
Besides being the never Trumper, his voice, with that, whatever he's got going on with his voice, getting on my nerves too.
That's a whole different issue. There's some people that are on like TV or radio, and I'm like, what? why is that voice successful?
Yeah, right. I mean, I grew up listening to the best voices in the world, on radio, on TV, and then now all of a sudden, because what really pisses me off, iHeartRadio does these little music features with some kid that sounds like Hyman Suchowski, his vote boy. More on the iHeartRadio network. I'm like, really? You kept him and fired me? Fantastic. Well done, iHeartRadio. All right, listen, to you and everybody at redstate.com. Susie, thank you so much. We love you, even though you don't hate Neil Cavuto.
Right back at you. Love you just the same, even though you do.
Hey, and Merry Christmas to you and your whole family, Susie.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks so much.
You got it. All right. Well, I couldn't break through.
You tried. You gave it a try, though.
Well, all we can do is
that's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
Yeah, we'll spray there, here and there.
Yeah.
Just spray that and take care of it.
It works.
We take care of it in the room.
Yep, we do.
That's all we can do.
All right, Michael Proctor is going to join us next. Spelled like doctor, by the way. Oh my God, the Brian Setzer Orchestra. This is how we should do it in music radio. Hey, Merry Christmas. Here's Brian Setzer on Newstalk STL. And you have something up your sleeve. What are you up to?
Well, with Michael Proctor coming in, we'll just wait and then do it just before we do the Wheel of Audio clips.
Fair enough. Michael Proctor's next on Newstalk STL.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at Newstalk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's Newstalk STL.
Whoosh.
Tim Jones here for AMF Electric, in business since 1965, offering a full line of industrial, commercial, residential, electrical, and system services. AMF's residential department will serve all of your wiring needs, including emergency repair, expansion, or new builds. AMF Electric, fully experienced in every commercial installation, including food service, medical and dental services, as well as office expansions. Call them 314-647-4066. Online, amfelectric.com. That's amfelectric.com.
Epic STL is always on the lookout for highly motivated, goal-oriented, results-driven people to add to our growing, winning team of sales and content professionals. 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL is a locally owned and operated venture of Epic STL. Apply to be a part of our creative, fun, and rewarding work environment by simply going to the Connect tab on NewstalkSTL.com and click on Application. Epic STL and News Talk STL are equal opportunity employers.
I want you to know that McGuire Moving and Storage is silver certified, which means McGuire has a quality reputation helping older adults move local or long distance. And something else to know, Josh McGuire, president of McGuire Moving and Storage, is the only certified moving consultant in Missouri. I'll tell you, once you met Josh, you're going to know your move will be easy. And I fully endorse McGuire Moving and Storage. McGuireMoving.com.
I'm so tired of my water smelling like rotten eggs. Iron Valve. It makes my clothes and home smell, and my sink and faucet look dirty. I'm calling Jones Air and Water Treatment for their solution to this pollution.
Jones Air and Water Treatment has a solution to your pollution. Call now for your free water analysis at 636-899-1040 and live with clean, great-tasting water. That's 636-899-1040 or joneswater.com on the web. Call us now.
Subscribe and watch your favorite News Talk STL shows. Mike Ferguson in the Morning, The Vic Porcelli Show, Columbo and Company, Jones and Arps. Webcam streaming on Facebook, Twitter, Rumble. Subscribe and watch News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Live and be well.
As President Lincoln said,
What, do you have a cough due to cold?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Merry Christmas. This is
It's
fun.
Friday.
And it's Friday.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I'm Vic Porcelli. That's the great Ken Williams over there. And joining us is Michael Proctor from Proctor Drapery, Blinds, and Shutters. Michael, welcome back. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Vic. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Do you get this time of year, do you get any time to relax? Because I know you do everything yourself. You call the people, you answer the phone, you go do the work, you go answer the questions from the client. Do you get any time for yourself in the holidays or what?
I don't like to relax.
Vic.
Yeah. I kind of gathered
it's
that.
All fun.
Yeah, keeps you young, I guess, right?
Yeah, keeps you hopping.
Yeah.
Keeps the joints moving and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is business?
Oh,
Obviously
business is gotten better since November the 5th. It was a rough year. I'll admit, but business is good.
No, that's interesting. Your business picked up once Donald Trump got elected, not necessarily waiting for Donald Trump to be in the White House and inaugurated again. At least people know he's on the way. Help is on the way for small business like that.
People, consumer confidence is up.
Yeah.
And some of these jobs that I've bid are coming through now.
We had a party recently which you were there, and not only you mentioned it, but a few other people said the same thing. They said it's really weird because once Donald Trump was elected, it's an emotional thing where even customers and small business owners, they all feel the same way, that this is causing them to just feel better and spend money.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's about time.
I
It
consider
was
you
rough.
small.
We almost. I mean, thank God for Donald Trump. He saved this country, really.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the 2020 election that people in DC and Neil Cavutos and those kind of douchebags, they don't realize that what they've done to small business by cheating in that 2020 election, right? Donald Trump's first term, you were doing great, probably, right?
Oh, fantastic.
And then the Biden administration
And then,
comes along.
when Biden came along, it wasn't too bad at first. Trump was so great that it took Biden a few years to screw things up,
Well,
really.
It got up to 9.1% inflation. I mean, it got pretty high.
Yeah.
But that was 14 months after he became president of the United States, and Biden claimed that it was Trump that did that.
Right. Another lie.
Yeah. So
if they couldn't lie, they couldn't breathe.
You got that right.
So here's the thing about somebody like Michael, who has a small business. The economy is hurting his business. Inflation at 9%. He's got to go buy the expensive eggs and everything too.
Yeah.
So you're getting hit kind of double, right?
Oh yeah. Can't leave the house without spending a few $100.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, man, dog. I got dogs. You got dog food. You got vet bills. You got dental bills. It's crazy.
$100 used to fill up the whole cart.
Right.
We just went to, in fact, just because you mentioned that, it reminded me of something we're going through right now with a groomer for our dog. Used to be $50.
Yeah.
It's $75.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No haircut for Nico.
Everything is.
No,
just
we have to
so
give
expensive.
it to him. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Jessica does it herself, believe it or not.
I would love to be able to do it, but I don't know.
All right, let's explore the Proctor Drapery's website, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Testimonials. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is the kind of thing at this radio station. We don't just take people's money that we feel a little weird and strange about talking about their company because we don't know if we trust them or not.
Oh, exactly.
So, Connor Roofing,
your name's on it,
and Walner Realty and Chris Cooper, all of our clients, I so trust them to send people who listen to me to their business. Because if I say, oh yeah, go to Proctor, and then they get screwed.
Oh,
well, Vic, I don't trust you anymore.
Exactly.
So that you put us in a good position being so good and trustworthy. So we are so happy. We called Michael Proctor. He's a class act that worked with us every step of the way. How do you have time to work with them every step of the way?
Just make time, Vic. Just make
Do
time.
you ever
It's my
sleep?
job. It's
Do you
my
ever
job.
sleep?
Well, yeah, I don't sleep that well at night, but I sleep.
You're like Trump, right?
Right.
Late to bed, early to
Right,
rise.
right.
We sincerely thank you, Michael. Michael has done several window treatment projects for me over the years in my home and business. That's another thing, not just home, but if you have a business, you might need some new draperies or shades or stuff.
Oh,
right?
sure. I do businesses all the time.
Tell us about some of the fancy stuff, like they have a remote.
Oh, we have the Power View remote control shades. We have
Isn't that cool?
The Roman shades,
Whoa!
the natural woven Roman shades, the silhouette shades, the pirouette shades, all types of shades that are, and we have power draperies too.
That's fun.
And
and you have some of those because a lot of these windows now are the way up in on the second floor, but it's like a double 2-story type of ceiling height, and you can't get up there to take care of those. So
it's required, or some of these kitchen windows sit way back from the sink, and you can't reach them. And some people just want power shades because they want to play with them.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah, really. Here, look at this.
Yeah.
Here, have a guest over and just show them.
Yeah, it's a big part of the business now.
Well, another part of the business I didn't know you did was we got a new deck, and we had an overhang put in, and you do like shades for outside.
Oh,
outdoor,
yes.
like
outdoor
dividers and draperies. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
How has the business changed when you first started it to now?
Oh, it's kind of like the automobiles changed,
Yeah.
I mean, everything is a Rolls Royce now.
Yeah.
When I go out to somebody's house, I have such a big selection of fabrics and colors and patterns and prints. And then, hundreds of different fabrics for natural woven shades, all different styles of shades. Like I said, you have the honeycomb, you have the pirouette, you have the silhouette. Used to just be a few things. Oh, and the hardware is unlimited. The fancy drapery hardware and everything.
Wow.
So that's how the business has changed. You can have whatever you want.
Right.
And with computers, the fabrics are made with computers today. So you have all these beautiful embroidered fabrics and textured fabrics that years ago people couldn't afford them. Only wealthy people could afford this. But today the computers make the fabrics clean, and the fabrics come flawless. They're clean, and makes it more affordable. So even though things are expensive, it's affordable for the middle class people.
So somebody calls you, and just to, like, for example, I'd be kind of worried that I'd be overwhelmed. You take them through every bit of the process, right?
Right. Well, people tell me all the time. They say, if I knew it would have been this easy, I would have called you a year ago.
Yeah.
It's just like anything, I've done that before. Like, oh man, I hate to call this person out. It's going to be a hassle. Just picking out a roof is going to be, if you get the right person out to your house, there's no work at all. I do all the work. I show them things and they like it and make it easy.
I'm going to ask you a question that shows my ignorance to all of what you do. But, when you go away, if you go away for a few days, you want people to think you're home, robbers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So your lights can go on and off at certain times, right? Do they make drapes and stuff that can open at certain times?
Oh, yes.
Oh, see, I
yes,
was right.
yes,
All
yeah,
right, good.
yeah.
How does that work? Is
Well,
that a
it
Bluetooth
works
thing?
with a hub on your computer.
Okay.
And
God, the technology has even entered the drapery
right. It
industry.
has, it doesn't really, some people, they want that, they go on vacation. They want to be able to open and close their, to act like somebody's home.
And you take them through the process of all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes,
so
we
if
do.
somebody's casing your house, right? Because they want to rob your house.
Oh my God.
And they're in the car across the street and they see the drapes up. Oh, they're home. Come on. Let's
Yeah. That's even probably more
safety.
It's probably more of a giveaway than lighting. Lights go on and off, and they'd be like, that could be
anybody could do
that.
that.
Right. But draperies is like they open a
It's
damn
like
drape.
everything with a smart home. They have everything.
Yeah. Michael, I didn't know anything about draperies and stuff before I met you, and I've learned a lot since meeting you, and we just love having you as part of our family here. So
thanks, Vic.
Thank you so much. What are your plans for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? What are the
Well, we have family Christmas on Sunday from like noon to 4. That's the families coming over. And then next Friday, we're having a big party.
Oh, nice.
Friday the 27th.
So you split it up a little bit? or-
Yeah, that's a big party with about, I don't know, probably 35, 38 people at the house.
That's your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Going to have a party. Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. So go to proctordrapery.com and you can find out everything there. Oh, I meant to ask you, when you're going to people's houses, what kind of vehicle do you show up in with all this stuff?
I show up in my big van.
Yeah.
And I've got an unlimited amount of fabrics. I've got the largest selection in St. Louis.
How about that?
Hey, Vic,
Sir.
do you have 33 seconds?
I do.
For me to tell you how I feel about President Trump.
Yeah, you bet.
Absolutely.
We'll give you more.
Okay. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where our fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Oh, studio audience loves it as well, Michael. Fantastic piece of patriotism
I love that.
I call him Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
Well, like he acted, so we don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do our jobs. We got to do our shtick and everything.
Yeah.
But he saved this country.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And I know I can't do it, but I want to be in that office when he tells Jennifer Granholm to go back to where
I know.
Yeah. Right.
and Mayorkas. And I wish
All
I
of
could-
them. Yeah.
Michael, Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas,
to
Michael.
you, Ken.
Yes, and
Yeah.
proctordrapery.com.
Oh, Proctor like doctor, right?
That's right,
That's
Proctor
it.
like
That's me.
doctor.
Yeah,
Right.
Thanks.
Thanks for being part of our family.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So how can we stuff your stocking
Yeah.
this Christmas? Go to NewstalkSTL and register to win our stocking stuffer giveaway. It's not just one thing. A whole bunch of people are going to win.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So go sign up at NewstalkSTM. You could win gift cards from Woodson Stonefire Pizza on West Clay in St. Charles. Exponentially. A 1-year range member. Why did you play that?
Oh, because it's exponentially. I don't know. That's Biden.
Because other people can win. A lot
Yeah,
more.
the real word's exponential.
Of course. Right. Not when Joe says it, though. A 1-year range membership from Metro Shooting Supplies in Bridgeton and Belleville. So go to NewstalkSTL and see what you can win, okay? All right. Ken's up to something. I don't know what he's up to, but we'll do that next, I guess.
No, yeah, and the Wheel of Audio clips.
And, of course, the Wheel of Audio clips on 1019 94.1 NewstalkSTL. Welcome home. How far into the song are we? Can we let it go, Frank?
Yeah.
Got time?
Yeah.
Leroy Anderson's version of Sleigh Ride. I don't know if Leroy wrote this song or not, but boy, he's got the most recognizable version of it. I think it's coming. Bear with me, everybody, and get ready to say, let's go Blues. Okay. Nope.
It's next.
Now it comes. Let's go Blues!
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show on Newstalk STL.
I know it's stupid, but it's there, right, Kenny? The horn.
Yeah, I just heard it. Yeah.
Dun,
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 dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Let's go Blues. All right. So what I was saying to Michael Proctor, same thing with Connor Roofing, because I'm not going to come on the air and say, oh, go to this company. They're the best. Their customer service is fantastic. If they're not, then what do? You come back to me and you say, yeah, thanks, Vic. You send me to a bunch of slugs, right?
Right.
Well, not when we're talking about Connor Roofing. They've been doing it it's going to be coming up on 32 years once the calendar rolls over to another year. Locally owned and operated, Kathy and Rob Connor. First of all, besides all the great work they do for your roof and repair, they're great at supporting the charities and things that we do here at the station. They're always showing up. They're always showing up at charity dinners and things.
We
They're
just
great.
love them. I mean, they're
What's not to love?
Well, because when we see them, we're just talking like we're just friends. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
really it. We never talk about business. We just talk.
And Kathy's
We're here.
smile just awesome, melts your heart.
Yeah.
They'll give you an honest estimate, quality work, great customer service, and follow up. I swear to God, Kathy will call you. So get your roof done with Conner Roofing, CONNER roofing.com.
Columbo and Company.
On Friday, we'll recap a busy week and get you the latest news heading into the weekend with Gabe Pfeiffer, Ken Williams, and the weekend forecast from Steve Templeton at 2:45.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on Newstalk STL.
From home improvement to replacement, do-it-yourself electrical projects can be shocking. That's where Grasser Electric can help. They've been lighting up St. Louis for years. From ceiling fans and dimmer switches to repair or replacing your electric. No job is too big or too small for your home or business. Grasser Electric will even install emergency backup generators. So call Grasser Electric today before the sparks start to fly. 636-441-5200 or go to grasserelectric.com.
Tim Jones here from my great friends at Comprehensive Chiropractic, the premier chiropractic and sports performance facility in the region. How do I know? Simply put, they've helped me on many occasions. Here's another solution to your everyday aches and pains. The Studio Health and Wellness Center. Services include Pilates and yoga, both with certified instructors. I can also highly recommend the massage therapy, which is not an indulgence. It's a proven method of healing and restoration. Trust my friends at Comprehensive Chiropractic in Eureka, cchiropractic.com. That's cchiropractic.com.
SR1 Sundays.
Hey, this is Aaron Dorff from the Missouri Firearms Coalition. Don't miss our new show, Shall Not Be Infringed, this coming and every Sunday as part of SR1 Sundays. Tune in for Stand and Fight with Nick Schroer at 6, Next Gen with Dane Define at 8, and my show, Shall Not Be Infringed at 9. See you then.
SR1 Sundays.
Sunday night at 6 on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Fox News commentary.
Why don't we protect children the way we protect celebrities? I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. Washington's spending addiction still threatens your savings. That's why I recommend gold IRAs from my friends at Birch Gold Group. These accounts protect your retirement from government mismanagement. For a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word SHELTER to 989898. Don't wait. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 now for your free kit from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
Tragedy struck Wisconsin this week after a teenage female suspect opened fire on fellow students and a teacher at Abundant Life Christian School. And right on cue, the left turned this horrific incident into fodder for the gun control movement. President Joe Biden renewed his calls for an assault weapons ban, though it's important to note that the suspect used a handgun and was a juvenile, so the only law that would have prevented this would be gun confiscation, which we all know is not constitutional or feasible. Also, to state the obvious, individuals who shoot up schools tend not to follow laws in general. But you know what could have prevented this tragedy? Maybe something basic like a metal detector or a school resource officer. Why are some on the left so against those simple adjustments? You know, in a fantasy fairyland, we'd hope schools wouldn't need to be protected and fortified, but this is the real world, so perhaps, just perhaps, it's time. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
The Wheel of Audio Clips brought to you by Senior Memorial. With the average funeral bill over $9,000, are your loved ones prepared? Call 314-866-8886 or memorialplans.com. Senior Memorial Heritage Protection. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Merry Christmas, baby. Should it treat me nice?
You're listening to the Missouri Broadcasters Association Air Talent of the Year. This is the Vic Porcelli Show.
And that guy across from me is the guy who won that award. Congratulations, Ken.
You too.
All right, what?
What?
I don't know what.
Well, I just want to say it's been a fantastic year. We've had so much fun together. I thought over the last 14 years I've known you, and I got to know you so much more over the last 3. It's been great. I can't wait till 2025.
Yeah.
And I just want to leave you with something because, man, I mean, we went through a lot with Trump too, and he's going to be with us for the next 4 years. That man went through hell for us, and I thought, you know what? Why not do this? And I got you a little. Look up on the screen there. That's a shot. That's a whiskey glass with a bullet in it.
Wow.
And it says Trump 47.
Yeah.
It's a real bullet, and it's custom made.
Wow.
And I got me one, you one, and my brother one. And so one of these days we got to all do a shot together, Vic.
You bet, man.
And I think that kind of exemplifies what we've been through the last year.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it sure does. What he's been through, what we've been through, listening to lib turds talk. And what's really funny about if you look at the stream right now, I'm telling you, listening to the show on the radio is fine. Love it. But when you get home, watch it also on the stream, and you'll see that is that a shot glass? That's a small little shot glass?
No, I think it's a whiskey glass.
Whiskey glass?
Because they do have shot glasses as well, but it's a little bigger, I think.
Whiskey glass. And then right next to the whiskey glass is Kamala down in a little bit of wine.
Right.
In our window.
I left that up there.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I thought that worked out well.
Ken, thanks, man.
Oh, my pleasure, Vic.
Best stuff.
You've been great. It's been great.
You're the best. All right. Are we ready for the Wheel of Audio Clip?
Wheel of Audio Clips!
It's America's favorite game show, the Wheel of Audio Clips. Here's the host of Wheel of Audio Clips, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, Jim Martin, very much. Thank you, studio audience. Hi, ladies. How you doing? Ladies look good today, don't they, Ken?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the Wheel of Audio Clips. And what it basically is, we play audio all throughout the week, and we pick some ones that we like the best, and then we play those on Friday, and we call it the Wheel of Audio Clips. Ken's got the names of all the clips on the wheel. We spin the wheel and see where it lands, and that's what we play for you. Kenny, are you ready? Thanks for that glass, man. I really appreciate that glass. You know what?
It's my pleasure, Vic.
Unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
Thanks, dude.
All right, ready to go?
Yep.
Spin the wheel, sir. All right. All right. Around and around she goes. Oh, look at this. It stopped on a great big liar who did not get raped by Duke lacrosse players.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me and made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
Even her apology is crap. Okay.
I hope that they can forgive me. She doesn't even, I don't think she understands the scope of what she did.
And then what she did after that, right?
Yeah.
Crystal Magnum is her name. Black woman who said.
I think it's Mangum.
Mangum, Crystal Mangum, said that, nope, those Duke lacrosse players didn't rape me. Oh, and by the way, I murdered somebody. That's why I'm in prison. She's in prison for murder.
Oh, by the way,
I'm a murderer.
I destroyed another family
besides being a liar. Okay, let's do as much as we can here today. This is it, Ken. This is it. Karen Cataline Monday. Please call her on the show and say hi to her. I'm trusting you guys to do that, okay? It really would make me feel good and her as well.
Oh, I like this one.
Okay. This is George Stephanopoulos, who really has a lot of nerve being on a Good Morning America supposedly objective television show when he's just a Democrat operative, right?
Right.
You know, he got snagged.
It's ABC News and their top anchor reaching a settlement now with President-elect Trump in his defamation suit. The news network will have to pay $15 million to Trump and an additional $1 million for Trump's legal fees. Both ABC and George Stephanopoulos also ordered to issue statements of regret as part of the deal.
So, George, you didn't get your way this time, huh? How about that?
Yeah. Snuffleupagus.
He is, God, there's something about him makes my skin just itch. Just looking at his face. And when he does that, and he said, you know, he's a rapist. He's a convicted rapist. And you and I and everybody that listens to the show were like, no, you're wrong.
You're wrong, completely.
You're wrong. And he lost the lawsuit, $15 million. I heard
he had to pay $1 million himself for court fees. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Apoplectic at this decision.
Yeah.
And it's been no fun to be around in ABC News.
That's what they say.
Yeah. All right, let's do another one. It looks like we've made fit everything in here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. No, Trump. Come on, Trump.
No.
Well, you know what? That's okay, though, Ken. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because he's going to be gone in 3 weeks. And we're not going to get him on the wheel of audio much at all anymore.
No.
But we'll do what we can to make fun of Joe Biden.
The trauma of that day and its aftermath is still raw and ongoing. I've gotten over 100 hostages out. I will not stop till I get every single one of them home.
Liar!
Yeah. He's just a liar.
He's a liar, Ken.
Liar! Liar!
Now hearing that you couldn't even get in touch with him on the day of that Abbey Gate explosion and murder of 13 of our service people in this country.
Yeah.
They couldn't even find him.
No.
So he is directly responsible for those 13 lives, Ken.
He said he got 100 out. Well, you know what? During the interview process, when he was talking about it, whenever he did talk about those hostages, he didn't even know the number that was available. He didn't know how many people were there. He had no idea.
He's talking about Gaza, by the way. They got 100 people out of Gaza. All right, can we do one more? We have time for one more?
Yeah.
No, let's do one more. Something good, something patriotic, something Trump. Slowing down.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I know I'm a big hypocrite, okay? And I have never really paid attention to the Army-Navy game as closely as I did this past Saturday. And I promise you now, I will. I will be there watching every bit of ceremony, every bit of football, every bit of patriotism. And this is a combined glee club of Army and Navy with our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red almost bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Love that.
That is the most perfect version of that song.
Man.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Most perfect version. So, by the way, Beyonce and Madonna and all you other douchebags, when you do the national anthem, don't give us the land of the free. Don't do it. That's the way you do it. I don't even think the national anthem should be sung inside a stadium anymore. Just play a recording of that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's the standard by which all others shall be measured in my mind and in my heart.
There you go.
Yeah, got that out without crying.
You did.
Little baby that I am. Donald Trump.
Against Iran's nuclear
Well, I can't tell you that. I mean, it's a wonderful question, but how can am I going to do preemptive strikes? Why would I say that? Can you imagine if I said yes or no? You'd say, that was strange that he answered that way. Am I going to do preemptive strikes on Iran? Is that a serious question? How could I answer a question like that? Say it.
Support of Israeli strikes on Iran.
How could I tell you?
Stupid questions. They should have it should say stupid question and a red circle and a red line through it. No stupid questions.
You know what's going to be great is after the 20th, we're going to hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
Hey, stop saying stupid questions.
You are fake news.
Yeah.
Right in his face. You are fake news. All right. So here we go. Last time this week. I don't know. Hold on. He's coming.
Remember, they're coming after me because I'm standing up for you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can't wait to have you into the White House. I'm wiped out, Kenny. Absolutely wiped out. That's all the time we have for the Wheel of Audio Clips. There we go. A little louder.
You want a little louder?
I want to, yeah, there we go. All right. This is Vic Porcelli saying, help control the liberal population. Have your liberal and your caboodle spayed or neutered. Okay? That's it. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, thank you for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Sure, you have the record player on at night.
And Kenny and I have a Merry Christmas. Kenny, have a Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, Vic.
All right, do what you do. Go ahead. Kenny does this every year.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Love that, Ken. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you,
Merry
my man.
Christmas to everybody.
And whoosh, my brothers and sisters.
Whoosh.
We'll see you soon.
Someday I'll be able to forget my working days. Life will be grim because the ship is coming in. Everything will go my way and I won't have to say, here come the weekend. Here come the weekend. Here come the weekend. My working week's so tough, I think I've had enough until the weekend. Here come the weekend. Here come the weekend. Here come the weekend.
Hungry for the best steak you'll ever have? Head to the heart of Moscow Mills and discover Harry J's, a local landmark and family-owned steakhouse, serving up excellence since '98. From mouth-watering appetizers to decadent desserts, Harry J's has something for everyone. Enjoy our extensive bar selection while soaking in our friendly family atmosphere. Whether dine-in or carry-out, your meal is prepared to perfection. Make the drive to 300 Main Street and treat yourself to a taste of Moscow Mills' finest. Harry J's, more than a steakhouse. We're a tradition.
Newstalk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airwaves for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio 3 times every weekend on Newstalk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. You could also reach Doug at 844-6766. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, how you doing? Santa Vic here.
And Santa's head, Vic Head, here.
And you can win some great prizes with Newstalk STL's St. Louis Conservative Christmas.
You forgot the ho-ho-ho. You forgot the ho-ho-ho.
Oh.
No, ho-ho.
Oh.
A St. Louis Conservative Christmas. Log on to NewstalkSTL.com for your chance to win. Brought to you by Woods and Stonefire, Tropical World Pets, El Morelia Supermercado, and Metro Shooting Supplies.
Oh.
Tony Colombo here for the cleaning pros at Zero Res, the team we trust with keeping our home clean and healthy. And the folks at Zero Res know how important it is to you to have a clean, healthy home this holiday season. And that's why they have this great offer for you right now. Book a cleaning with Zero Res and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $75 off an air duct cleaning. Again, just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is Newstalk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Congress racing toward a shutdown at the end of the day, and Republicans appear no closer to finding a path forward that will keep the lights on and appease President-elect Donald Trump. We have details from Bernie Bennett.
The latest setback in the House came on Thursday evening when Democrats and a band of Republicans rejected a bill that paired a 3-month government funding extension, $110 billion in disaster and farm aid, and other measures with a 2-year suspension of the debt limit, the latter of which was a last-minute demand by President-elect Trump. That Plan B was cobbled together after GOP lawmakers, Trump and Elon Musk, torpedoed the first deal Speaker Mike Johnson negotiated with Democrats, with the influential Republicans criticizing the policy add-ons included that ballooned the legislation to over 1,500 pages. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Also at townhall.com, Amazon workers affiliated with the Teamsters Union holding a strike at 7 of the company's delivery hubs less than a week before Christmas. The Teamsters said the workers joined picket lines on Thursday. That's after Amazon ignored a Sunday deadline the union had set for contract negotiations. Amazon delivery driver Vanessa Valdez told ABC7 Los Angeles workers are asking for $30 an hour.
I'm not a greedy person. We're not greedy. We want what's fair for a full day's hard work.
The company says it doesn't expect the strike to impact holiday shipments. The union hasn't said how many workers are participating in the strike, nor how long it will go on. An inflation gauge closely watched by the Federal Reserve barely rose last month, and a sign that price pressures cooled after 2 months of sharp gains in the U.S. Prices rose just 0.1% from October to November. On Wall Street, stocks are sharply higher. All 3 major indexes now up well over 1.5%. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text PREPARE to the number 989898. That's PREPARE to 989898.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Cold and windy out there this morning. Wind chills in the teens in parts of the area under mostly cloudy skies. These winds won't really die down until late this afternoon and this evening. So we'll keep it cold with 35 as the afternoon high. Down to 25 overnight tonight, partly cloudy. Saturday remains chilly, but it'll be mostly sunny, much lighter wind. So that high of 37 should be easier to take. And a warming trend kicks in on Sunday with a high of 45. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com.
In the fast-paced world of digital marketing, making connections is a challenge for any business. But what if we told you there is a place where connections aren't just made, they're grown? Meet 2060 Digital, your premier Google partner and top-tier digital agency. We don't just follow trends, we set them. At 2060 Digital, we're not just another agency. We're your strategic partner. We dive deep into your challenges and develop solutions that drive measurable outcomes. Ready to elevate your digital presence with campaigns that connect? Google 2060 Digital today.
Tim Jones here with Eric from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers. Eric, we often talk about the Newstetter's difference that folks feel right when they walk into the front door of the store.
Newstetter's Fine Jewelry is truly where honesty and integrity meet. We're all about quality at a fair price. Our goal is to guarantee that the gift you give will be loved for a lifetime. Come in and meet our professional staff that will put your needs above all else.
Experience that fantastic Newstetter's difference today at wowdiamonds.com. Newstetter's Fine Jewelers, wowdiamonds.com.
Looking for a cruise vacation? Cruise.com is offering its exclusive sale of the year to all listeners to this station. Every major cruise line, including Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Princess, MSC, and more, are on sale now. Call 1-800-507-9264 and book one of these deals while supplies last. Cruises start from as low as $39 per person per day. There isn't a better vacation value to places like Alaska, Europe, the Caribbean, South America, America, and more. Call one of the largest cruise specialists in the world at 1-800-507-9264. We'll find you a vacation that includes drinks, Wi-Fi, excursions, and more. Call 1-800-507-9264. That's 1-800-507-9264. Space is limited. Don't miss your opportunity to book the best deal of the year. That's 1-800-507-9264. Sponsored by Cruise.com.
All the information I need on the drive to work.
Like Ferguson in the morning. I keep it on throughout the day, whether it's local, national, or something big that's happening overseas.
News, analysis, and opinion.
St. Louis's #1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
News, analysis, opinion. News Talk STL.
From the NYPD to the Secret Service to behind the microphone, taking the fight to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show. Filling in for Dan, Jim Verdi, and Evita Duffy Alfonso.
Hey, there's Jim and Evita filling in for Dan today. Glad to be here with you, getting ready for this wonderful holiday season. So much going on Capitol Hill right now. So much action taking place. Apparently, the Republicans in Congress are going to be having a meeting at 12:30 Eastern time, trying to figure this out. It looks like Evita, they're going to maybe divide this into 3 bills now. So it's like things keep taking baby steps in the right direction. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do, Jim. There's a lot of back and forth right now. People are really angry at the Republicans who last night, there was I believe 38 of them who voted against the bill that was endorsed by Trump. And they're saying they're traitors to Trump, and Cat Turd on X is specifically very against what these 38 members did. And I have a more nuanced take on this. I think you do too, Jim. We're going to get into that. But this is why, just to keep it short, these kind of principled stands can actually be a positive thing, because now we're getting separate bills, which is what Thomas Massey and so many others who actually care about fiscal responsibility have been asking for a long time.
Yeah, the last time something like this happened actually was 1994. Newt Gingrich was speaker, and he talks about getting what he wanted. When everybody talks about the great economy of the 90s, everybody seems to forget that the Republicans had a massive, massive midterm win and took over the Congress for the first time in 40 years, and not just by a little bit, by a lot. And they did it on the contract with America. And then when Gingrich decided to actually implement the contract with America, that's when they got welfare reform. That's when they were able to rein in the budget, actually work towards a balanced budget. I got a clip of Newt a little bit later on, basically talking about that. So we'll get in. We're going to get into the intricacies of all that, and we're going to be watching if there's any action that happens. I want to start, though, with Dan's podcast this morning. I don't know if you got to hear it. Fascinating interview. I recommend you go back and listen to it. He was talking to...
It was excellent.
Yeah. I heard you listening to it just before we got on. What did you think?
No, so the bit that I saw, it was awesome. And I'll just say that this guest, Andy Stumpf, he's a former SEAL Team 6 guy. My husband is a huge fan of his podcast. He's really insightful. And because my husband's a huge fan of his, it's not somebody that your typical 24-year-old woman would listen to. Andy Stumpf is a great guy. It was a super productive interview, especially as we're looking at Pete Hegseth about, what does the military need right now? How do we combat wokeism? And this is a guy who has been in the fight. I mean, this is a man who was in SEAL Team 6. He is very dialed in to the military community, and he had some really insightful takes on everything that we're dealing with when it comes to the Pentagon.
All right. Speaking of the wokeness in the military and everything, that's one of the first things Dan broached with him. Let's listen to part of this interview right here.
So first, you served in the military. I did. And we were kind of chatting pre-show here. And I don't do a ton of interviews on the podcast. You're the first one in a while. I do some on the radio show. But what I don't know, I don't know. I think that's kind of one of the elements of being not just smart, but intelligence, knowing the perimeter of your own knowledge. I wasn't in the military. One of the problems, though, I could imagine being in the military, especially an elite unit like SEAL Team 6, is you need absolute unit cohesion. You can't have people going off half-cocked, independent, doing their own thing, or the entire thing, whether it's breaching a door, everything breaks apart. Everybody has a role. So when you get this wokeness component, forget the politics of it for a second. Just look at it from a pure tactical perspective. We're emphasizing division, skin color, race, things that have nothing to do with Andy Stump, SEAL Team 6 ability to breach a door and take out a bad guy. This is really dangerous. It has the potential to break up our military.
Yeah, you hit on something that I don't know if maybe the listener would pick up on, and that is the cohesion. And one of the things about the military, specifically the units that I served in, even the conventional SEAL teams, you make it through BUDS, which is a 6-month training pipeline. Everybody who wears a trident goes through that pipeline. It's a known origin. You get to a conventional SEAL team. You've been through multiple crucibles, selection courses. You've been tested and refined and trained, and your level of buy-in for the overall mission and the community and the command. And then you can take it to another level, an additional 6 months of screening at a JSOC command. And the cohesion is without question. You definitely have people who have different levels of belief, but it's all reverse engineered towards crossing the threshold of the door overseas. Everybody is bought in on the mission. Everybody is focused on their role, regardless of their personal beliefs, because it is a melting pot of society. And we're not this carbon copy repeat of each other, but we put all of that aside so that you can be as lethal as humanly possible. I mean, at the JSOC level, you are at the sharpest edge of the pointiest spear. And the only thing that you need to be thinking about, especially if you want to survive the sometimes and often very dangerous things that the country asks of those units, is to be completely bought in on that mission. So anything subtracting from that lethality is a detriment to the people that are serving overseas, specifically in that role.
Andy, one of the things, too, that differentiates special operators, and you just emphasized it, is this is not your first rodeo. And I mean, that's underplaying the situation. You've already been through boot camp, which for all the branches isn't easy. I don't care what you're in. You can be a cook in the Navy at the White House mess. You've still been through boot camp. It's a pain in the ass. It's not easy. It's not like, your high school gym class. You get a guy, say, in Delta, another special operations team, who's been a Ranger. He's been through boot camp. He's been through Ranger school. You get guys who've had specific MOS schools before they're in SEAL Team 6. They may have been through, I don't know, some EOD training or something like that. These are all really complicated schools. You got Green Berets who've been through 2 or 3 schools beforehand. I mean, this is the kind of thing where you've now broken down all these barriers, and you've got, as you called it, the tip of the spear. Guys operating as one, almost operating as a symbiote. They can read each other. They can see each other. They just got to tap you on the shoulder, and one guy knows to go left and right, breaching that door. He goes the wrong way, he's dead. People are freaking dead. It's not like you go the wrong way. Oh, sorry, do-over. It's not Wayne's World, where they're playing a hockey game, and come on, start over. That's not the way this shit works. People die. And that's my problem with this wokeness crap. Obviously, the politics of it I hate, but the division component, like so much effort's gone into teaching you guys cohesion. It's just such a shame to see it all attacked with this silly nonsense stuff.
Wokeness is an ideology that survives in an academic environment. In my own personal experience overseas, combat and warfare, it doesn't care about your personal beliefs. It doesn't care about the color of your skin. It doesn't care about your gender, your age, any of those things. A bullet, I've never watched a bullet, not that you can really watch a bullet, but I've never seen a bullet or heard of a bullet carving around somebody because they were the DEI hire for that particular organization. It's a structure that falls apart in real life. And fortunately, in my experience, even though I have heard in communication with people that are still in, that there is this creep towards, you could call it DEI, you could call it woke. I would call it an attention suck outside of lethality. That does exist even in the special operations world, but it's such a small community that they can do a better job of kind of pushing it away and focusing on that lethality. And it's one of the things, though, that I hope will change with the oncoming administration. And I'm very interested to see how Pete Hegseth approaches this, because at least listening to what he has said, he wants to be rid of all of those things. And from somebody who operated in that environment, and my opinion only counts for myself, I think that's what the military needs. It's what are we required to do on the battlefield? And everything is targeted towards exactly that. We reverse engineer from that. And in my own personal experience, wokeness and DEI doesn't appear in that calculus.
Now, that is such an important point. and it goes to the much larger thing, and it goes to exactly what happened and why what happened on November 5th happened is because people are tired of this. You see all kinds of companies right now getting rid of it, because it's not, it actually divides more than it helps. Because if you have to take this DEI training, and, I don't know if you've ever had to take anything like that, it's really divisive. It causes you to have thoughts. It's like, well, it makes people think things that they otherwise necessarily wouldn't by basically painting you as racist.
Well, it's expressly political. And in a college campus, for instance, when you are supposed to be neutral, or the military where you're supposed to be neutral, you're supposed to be, a non-political entity, it is extremely divisive, and it makes you feel like you're inherently bad or racist based off of your skin tone. And in a military situation, this is what I love about how Andy Stumpf laid that out, is it becomes lethal. It's a threat to the productivity of the military, not just the productivity, the safety of the men involved, when you have a divisive, expressly Marxist ideology poised in the troops like this. The military used to be a place that you go where there is no color. You're all the same team, and it doesn't matter your background, and it doesn't matter your skin tone, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, you're all on the same team. And now, for some reason, the military says, no, actually, it's going to make us stronger by making us more divisive. And as Andy Stumpf laid out, it's actually the exact opposite.
No, and that's exactly what basic training and boot camp is all about. That's why they shave your head when you go in. That's why they make you look like one another, is because they're breaking you down from your individual self so that you are able to function at one cohesive unit, that you're not looking at a guy, his skin color or everything. You're looking at somebody who's got a job to do right with you, because your life depends on him and his life depends on you, and you have to do it together. You have to work together, which is kind of ironic that this is what it goes into what's happening today up on Capitol Hill. You want to talk about exactly what happens when they make diversity their strength? It's nothing but division. Everybody's all over the place. Nothing can get done. It's the exact opposite what we're seeing play out right now on Capitol Hill than what the military is supposed to do. And when you have missions like that with a guy in SEAL Team 6 who, carry out the most probably dangerous missions of any of the military that we have, these guys can't afford to be thinking anything like that.
And Pete, I mean, this is what's so interesting about Pete is Andy Stumpf said in that interview, I actually like Pete because he's throwing a wrench in the status quo of the military. He's somebody who's controversial and for the right reasons. He's somebody who's willing to say, you know what? First of all, it doesn't make sense for the taxpayers to be paying for the hormones and surgeries of transgender soldiers, but it creates a problem when you have people like this with opposite gender identities in a unit that's all female or all male. Well, how do you handle somebody like that? And so it creates these, again, problems of division, problems just in general. And should we be recruiting people like that? I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, what is our goal in the military? Is our goal to be lethal? Is it to protect the American people? Is it to be a united, strong, fighting force? Or is it to be a DEI position? Are we trying to replicate an English studies major at a university system? What is the goal? And I think Pete is bringing us back to the original intention of any good fighting force, and that's frankly why he's being opposed by the higher ups in the military, in the Pentagon, and it tells you a lot about their priorities.
So we have another clip. We're going to be playing that probably next half hour. It's going to be Dan and Andy Stumpf talking about Pete Hegseth and the challenges that he's facing up on Capitol Hill and what he can possibly get done. If you want to weigh in on any of this, give us a call, 844-484-3872, 844-4-the-USA. It's right before Christmas. Anything you want to talk about, or you want to breach any subject, willing to do it. It'll be like an open line Friday, like we always say on this great network right here, filling this time slot. Give us a call if you would like to get in on the action. It's Jim and Avita filling in for Dan on the Dan Bongino Show.
Bongino. Big news. Rob Schmidt just beat CNN in the ratings. Yeah, it's true. Newsmax's #1 host, Rob Schmidt, just had a bigger audience than CNN during any hour of the day. That really is big. Millions of Americans like you are making the switch to Newsmax. They're getting the real facts. No BS and no spin, just the truth. Even President Trump says he's watching Newsmax. You should too. Rob Schmidt and Newsmax are on all major cable systems. YouTube TV just added us. If your system doesn't carry Newsmax, just call them and cancel. Go to getnewsmax.com and we'll help you find a new carrier. 40 million Americans watch Newsmax. Find out why. Go to getnewsmax.com and start watching. Newsmax is real news for real people like you.
Dan Bongino.
Cabinet hopefuls are not the only ones making pilgrimages to Mar-a-Lago.
A new beginning.
You cannot deny that there's almost like this weight that's been lifted.
And fresh perspective.
I think Donald Trump has a strong mandate.
China's President Xi Jinping said that he is ready to work with the incoming administration.
Doesn't guarantee a happy ending.
Prosecutors said consideration must be given to potentially freezing the case.
What happens next?
Until after he gets out of office.
Happens here. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Southern Armory, your hometown gun store. Come and be more than just a customer. Southern Armory, we carry the best guns, holsters, knives, magazines, ammunition, and even food storage. Special orders are welcome. Southern Armory, 1 mile east of 270 and 44, 9901 Watson Road, and SouthernArmory.com. That's SouthernArmory.com.
Whether you're purchasing your first firearm or adding to your collection at Southern Armory, you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. Follow Southern Armory on Facebook or at SouthernArmory.com.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Looking for a hardware store that treats you like family? Welcome to True Value Schneider's Hardware, your local gem in Old Town St. Peters. For over 100 years, we're proudly serve you St. Charles County, providing everything from lawn and garden supplies to plumbing and electrical. Need a bolt or fastener? We've got you covered. And don't forget, we're a steel dealership. Whether you need sales, parts, or service, ask for Charlie or Jerry when you come in. We're here to help. Call 636-278-4461 or visit us online at truevalue.com/Schneiders.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking